Hi guys, let me know when you start getting on. Say hello when you get here so I know that you're here. I'm gonna wait till we get a decent amount of people in here. I'm gonna sit on the couch. I literally just got done teaching, so we'll wait for us to get a little bit of an audience. Hi mamas. There's my sister. Hi sis. Are you guys all hanging in there? I hope. If you have any questions about anything that we're about to do, feel free just to type them in there and I will respond as we go. My boyfriend went to go change his shirt because he said he was not dressed for this. So we're going to wait till he gets back. He is the grilling guy. I am not a griller. Hi, Mom. There's not a lot of things in this world that I admit that men do better than women, but lighting the grill is one, and it is just not my thing. I can't do it. Thomas has a bunch of fancy gadgets that he uses, and ladies, if you want, I can share those with you because they make solid Christmas gifts or Father's Day gifts or any type of gifts that you need, and they're relatively pretty inexpensive, and they make grilling a lot more simple. So I'll share those with you as we go. We also are charcoal grill people. We don't do the gas grill thing. So to each their own, we just like that charcoal flavor. So we will let him kind of get started. I have went ahead and begun to preheat my oven. And you're going to preheat your oven. Let me find my recipe. To, let's see, 425 degrees. So you want to go ahead and get that situated and going, just like a normal bake to 425. I am going to have to do this kind of strangely because my phone isn't charged. I thought it was charging the whole time I was teaching, and of course it was not. So we're going to do like a balancing act here, so that should be interesting. You know what? I'm gonna go get my candle. I've been propping my phone up on a candle, and it works really, actually, very well. So 1 second, let me get that, and I'll try to, show you how I'm cutting things and so on and so forth. So you're gonna probably want to get your meat out. It's good to get your meat sitting kind of room temperature. Thomas was a little bit upset with me whenever I picked this because I'm sure, as you guys all know, the beef prices have went up insanely. So he's like, oh, of course you picked the most expensive, recipe. So I apologize, but you can cook whatever you want to cook. I know some of you might be cooking chicken and stuff, and that's totally okay. So we got some nice KC strips here that we're going to use. Usually we're ribeye people, but these just were cheaper this time. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to go get my cutting board, and then we'll get started with some stuff. Here we go. I'm trying this balancing act, guys. Just bear with me. All right, let me get my cutting board. And a big knife. All right, I'm going to try to do this. Hi, Lee. Parents, I am so sorry. I should have planned this better. I thought I had my phone charging, but it wasn't charging. So we're going to do this. I'm going to periodically plug it in. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is take our sweet potatoes. You definitely need to wash them, especially everything right about now, because I just feel like there's germs on everything. And speaking of, I'm going to wash my hands really quick because I've been teaching and sweating. Even though I'm in the privacy of my own home, I feel like cleanliness is godliness, or that whole thing. All right. So we're going to take our sweet potatoes and we're going to cut the ends off of them so they're a little bit more manageable. And then once we get it there, I like to turn it on its side like this and that's when you're gonna use your peeler. Thomas has some pretty awesome knife skills. My knife skills include almost chopping my finger off every time I cook, so we're gonna be careful. Our very first Thanksgiving we ever had together, I sliced the tip of my finger off with a peeler, and so he had to make my world famous bourbon cranberries for me after that. And if you guys ever want that recipe, it's really, really good, so just reach out. I think a lot of you guys know that I love to cook. My boyfriend and I love to cook together. It's very therapeutic. It's kind of like our safe space. It's what we do together. And a lot of the things, everybody's like, you eat so fancy. We actually really don't. They just look fancy, but all of our meals are about 40 minutes or under because we both work till really late at night. So this is actually kind of a big change for us too, because we don't eat dinner this early. So I'm sure we'll be finishing our night off with a gigantic bowl of ice cream. All right, just make sure you get those little pits out of there. And like I said, guys, if you have any questions at all, just reach out. I'm gonna put this up here for a second while I'm doing this because you guys can kind of see now what I've started to do. There. Like a magician right now. And if you guys have any questions, reach out. So we're peeling our sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna do both, and then we'll cut. This is like one of my most favorite things to cook because it's simple and like I said, it's impressive. It's impressive looking, it's colorful, it's bright. It'll be a perfect meal to eat on a day like today. So I hope you guys like it. Since this one's big, I'm gonna cut this one more time and then peel it. Like I said, I'm really good at cutting my hand off, so I'm gonna make sure to try to avoid doing that on the Facebook Live here tonight. And if you guys are participating, I'm sorry I take a little bit of a long time doing this. My boyfriend's out lighting that grill, so if you guys are participating along with me, make sure that you're getting your charcoal nice and hot or your grill nice and hot. It doesn't usually take us very long to cook steaks because we like them like bleeding. So you'll cook them just to whatever you want. Or chicken, make sure that's done. The last thing we need is another type of sickness. What'd you say? My boyfriend's gonna step in and peel these because he does them way faster than me, and it gives him anxiety. Like I said, if you weren't here for my chopping off my finger story, that really happened in life. So he's gonna peel this one, and he's doing it over there. So while he's doing that, once you have them peeled, I go ahead and I cut them in wedges. We're gonna do these in 1/2-inch pieces. So I cut them to a thickness about this first, in slices first, and then I go in after that and I cut them into cubes. If you're just joining us, we're starting on the sweet potatoes first. So we have our wedges. I hope you guys can see, I think you can see me. And then we're gonna cut them in pieces right after this. So I've cut this one in 3 pieces, and here we go. So they look about like this. Let me get a bowl really quick. You're gonna need a bowl because we're gonna drench them in some olive oil and salt and pepper here in a second. So I do 3 cuts across, and then I spin it and I do 3 more. And these sweet potatoes are pretty big, so this will provide us some leftovers. Thomas and I we cook a lot where we have leftovers to last us through the week. Thomas is a pharmacist in Odessa, and he is very adamant about taking his own lunch every day. He doesn't eat out, and we try not to eat out during the week either, so that's why I post food all the time, because that's just what we do. We don't eat out. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next potato. Don't get me wrong, sometimes we can't help it and we eat Mexican, which there's like all these memes going around, and I'm like so excited to go back and eat Mexican. Y'all are being quiet on there. I hope everything's going okay. All right. sweet potatoes. And I don't know if I said this or not. This actually was a HelloFresh meal that we got. We do HelloFresh every once in a while because it kind of provides an outlet for, you know, to try different and new things. We have a pretty open palate at our house. And so if you guys ever want to try any of that, let me know. I have about 1 million free boxes that I can give out. It's just a little code that you put in. All right, we're about to finish up with our sweet potatoes. I almost said sweet peppers. That is not what we're doing. All right. Okay. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're cooking along with us, we're cubing those sweet potatoes right now. All right, so I have a bowl of sweet potatoes. Some of these look a little bit big. That was my fault. So I'm gonna go through and cut just a few more. They just cook faster if they're smaller, but you wanna make sure that they're kind of all the same, because if not, you're gonna have some like texturally different things happening. Almost ready here. Then the next thing that we're gonna do is our poblano. If you don't have a poblano, that's okay. I searched high and low at our grocery store here in town and we did not have any. So one of my friends picked me up one from Walmart. I've used bell pepper before, and for some reason sometimes they turn out a little bit bitter, and I don't really know why, because I love roasted peppers. So I don't really know why. I don't know if it was in the oven or what. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna get is our poblano. All right, and we're gonna do just one of those. This is a poblano. You're gonna cut the end of it off here, just like this. These aren't a very seedy pepper, so it's really easy to cut the veins out. So you just wanna pull those out and make sure it's cleared out. And we're gonna slice that right in half. These do have a little spice to them, but not over the top. So if that's something that you're not interested in, make sure, you know, like I said, I put on the thing that these were optional, and they absolutely are. I'm gonna cut them in strips about like this. And then we're gonna cut them into pieces about like this, all right? So those go into the same bowl. And I think I'm gonna use both of mine just because I have two. And like I said, those sweet potatoes were huge. So you can feel free to use whatever you have. All right, little pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next one. I have seeds everywhere, so that's really cool. This one's a little bit smaller. If you guys are just joining, you need to make sure that oven's heating up to 425. Anybody have any questions on anything yet, or are we just like enjoying the show? All right. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Almost ready. And then we're gonna do our onion next. Thomas has prepared my onion for me. Okay, almost ready. And guys, these do not have to be perfect because you're just gonna roast them and they're gonna be in a big pile on your plate anyway. All right, onion. This is, I'm gonna try not to cry on screen because I always cry when I'm doing anything with onions. I'm just gonna cut it 3 times across because you kind of want these to be in chunks. So let me put this down here for a second. Give me some thumbs up if you can see kind of what I'm doing a little bit better. We're gonna just kind of give it a rough chop. So the fact that they're in these chunks is totally fine. Because like I said, we're just gonna throw them on a big baking sheet anyway. This is like seriously one of my most favorite sides ever, and you could put it with anything. It just so happens that it was with steak on this recipe, but you can put it, I mean, we've had it with pork, we've had it with chicken, we've had it with about everything that you could think of. All right, tomatoes in, or tomatoes, Jesus. Guys, I don't even know what day it is, but I especially don't know what vegetable I'm, those are onions. Okay. Once we get all of those in, we're gonna go ahead. This is what we're making, by the way. Like I said, it was a HelloFresh meal. So we're gonna do all of those things. And then we're gonna toss that with the drizzle of olive oil and salt and pepper. Hi, everybody that's coming on and joining us. We get some foil. We cover everything in foil because we have severe OCD. I cooked these Brussels sprouts a while back that had maple syrup on it, and it got underneath the foil, and it was a disaster. Like, I completely ruined a pan, so that was fun. All right, we're gonna cover that with foil. I'm gonna put that to the side for a second. We're gonna do some olive oil and just drizzle that on top. All right. And we're gonna do, we use this seasoned pepper a lot in my house. It's like the best thing ever, but you can just do regular pepper. We just like the way that this one tastes. So I'm gonna do like a healthy shake of this. We always put pepper on the food and then we add more pepper because we love pepper. Salt is next. I do a coarse ground salt just so I can see it. But if you have just regular salt in a salt shaker, that's absolutely fine too. We're just gonna season these up. And remember, my boyfriend's not big on salt. I love salty things. I always pick those over the sweet, but we can always add more salt. I'm gonna put a little more olive oil in here. And then we're gonna use our hands. We're just gonna toss all that up. Make sure we coat it all. Also, this recipe typically calls for a shallot. We don't ever have shallots at our grocery store, so I just use red onion. I like the way red onions cook up, so that's why I put it like that in your recipe. I'm gonna wash my hands off really quick because I'm covered in olive oil. And, okay, here we go. So, all of our veggies are tossed in olive oil, salt, and pepper. And we're gonna put this down and we're just gonna spread them all out on a baking sheet. And one of the other reasons I love this recipe is because it's so colorful and it's so bright. Just spread this out so you can get a decent cook, an even cook on everything. And see, that is literally just 2 sweet potatoes, 1 onion, and I did 2 poblanos, but that's like, it covers a whole entire sheet pan. Is anybody cooking along or are we just watching? Somebody type in there what we're doing. Who's doing what tonight? Trying to do everything slow-ish. So if you are cooking along, okay, almost done here. Okay. See, it says my battery is low again. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure that this is working. I'm gonna put in my other charger really quick. because that one is acting kind of strange. Hold on one second. Okay, I hope that we are charging. Okay, perfect. So, we're gonna set that, hold on. Thomas, when should I put the veggies in? Now. So we're gonna go ahead, he's saying to go ahead and put them in now. We communicate with each other because I am notorious for starting the side way too early and then they don't come out together. So I'm sure you guys, if you've ever hosted a Thanksgiving, you know what that's like. So we're just gonna put that in our oven, 425-degree oven. And we're gonna set our timer for 25 minutes. Okay, while that's going, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make our sauce. So we are going to take some garlic. I'm gonna get a clove of garlic over here. And fun little fact about garlic is you just take the blade of your knife on top of it and smush down. And then all of the shell comes off. It's an easy, quick little way to peel it. And another thing that I like to do is I like to take a garlic press because it makes it really minced. If you don't have a garlic press, you can do it by hand. And you put this in, and I like to do it like this. So you squeeze a little, some of it comes out, and then we're gonna use a sharp knife to cut that off. Same thing, squeeze a little. Want to get that garlic shell off there. That would not taste very good. All right. Here we go. Perfect. All right, garlic. All right, next thing we're gonna do is our jalapeno. Let me grab that. Jalapeno is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. But a traditional chimichurri has it in it. And then you're going to use the excess in the jumble if you want to. So, I'm going to rinse this bad boy off. And cool thing about that little peeler that I use for the sweet potatoes, it has this grooved part right here, and that's what I use to de-seed my jalapenos. So I cut the end off, and I'm gonna slice it like this. This one does smell a little hot, so that's why I made sure that you knew that this was optional. You didn't want to use it. So here, let me move this here so you can see. So I use that sharp part of the peeler, and I just drag it through, and that deveins it. And keep in mind, whenever you cook anything with jalapenos, try not to touch your face, which is like a common theme of everything right now. Should be easy for us all. Don't touch your face. All right, perfect. I'm going to finely chop this into little juliennes because we're going to mince it here in a second. I almost cut my finger off. See what I'm saying, guys? Okay, so tiny little pieces. We're gonna put them together in a stack and just dice. Dice them into little bitty pieces. Don't cut your fingers off. It's very important. All right. Perfect. Tiny little pieces. I think you guys can see that. And then we're gonna go to the next one. Once we get this sauce made, we can talk about those grilling gadgets that I told you about. He has like this crazy lighter that looks like a curling iron, but it will like literally burn your face off. And then he has this fancy meat probe, and I love it because, like I said, I'm not very good like when it comes to grilling or roasting meat, like, you know, it's so easy to overdo things. And so the thing I love about that probe is I never overdo it anymore, because it just beeps when it's ready. You can program it to anything. And like I said, you can walk around your house, you can walk around anywhere, and it just kind of beeps when it's ready to go. All right, so we got jalapenos now. And then we're going to do some cilantro. And I'm gonna do some extra cilantro because I love cilantro. I used this last night. I literally could eat cilantro every day. So you're gonna just take some of it off. It doesn't really matter if you get stems in it, unless you don't want them, then you can pick each leaf like one by one. That's a lot of, it's a lot of work to do. So, getting my cilantro in with all my other stuff here. Get it together, Whitney. And then we're just gonna chop it. Seriously, like, it smells so good. Cilantro is like my favorite thing. It's my favorite herb, and it's the only herb that doesn't keep giving. Well, not the only one, but this one and dill, they grow and then you use it and then they die. So that makes me sad, but I still grow it every year because I use it all the time. Okay, so we got some cilantro here in a gigantor pile. Let's see what we have next. So we're gonna go ahead and make our chimichurri. So we're gonna get a small bowl. I'll get a glass one so you can kind of see what we're doing. Here we go. So we're gonna start off. It says to take some cilantro. We're gonna do about, it says, it doesn't say, it says the remaining, but like I said, I really like cilantro, so we're gonna do this. And this is, we're gonna reserve the rest of this because it's gonna go on top of that jumble that we just did. So we got our cilantro there. We're gonna do a half a teaspoon of cumin. I also obsessed with cumin. We cook with it all the time. Half a teaspoon of cumin. I'm gonna put that in there. Okay. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I don't know why I went back over there because I just put my measuring spoons right here. So 2 tablespoons of this. 1 and 2. Have to fill that up later. And then it says a pinch of garlic to taste. I'm gonna tell you right now that I love garlic, so I'm gonna put all of it in there. That's what I always do. So garlic, and then it says jalapeno to taste. I'm gonna just do like about this much for now and go from there, because you can always add to it, but you can't take it away. And nobody's interested in burning their face off tonight. All right, then we're gonna do some lemon here in 1 second. Gonna get a spoon, stir this all together. And the lemon is gonna make it, like right now it's really, really thick, which is totally fine. But this is the point where you're gonna kind of do things as you go. So like I'm gonna add some lemon here in a second, and then I'm going to see what else I have to, like, you know, if you can kind of eye it. It can be thick or as thin as you want. What I was doing there is you roll this out, and that will release the juice in the lemon a little better. And I always use a juicer. If you don't have a juicer, a fork works just fine. But I literally use this bad boy all the time. So just a juicer. And rolled out lemon. We're gonna slice her in half. And I'm gonna keep one half of it over here because we're gonna use that for that jumble. And we're gonna just twist it out. And like I said, you can definitely use like a fork method, and basically you just twist a fork in there and squeeze it. But like I said, I use this juicer all the time, and it's like old school. Okay, so the thing with lemons is there always is seeds. So I always use this little guy, and I strain it in. All right, rotate that around a little. All right, so now we have kind of a sauce going on, which is what we wanted to do, because this is gonna be served over your steak. And if you don't wanna do this step, you certainly don't have to, but I am like a big fan of all the tasty sauces, so I always will make the sauce. Like we make aioli pretty much every night in this house, like a garlic aioli. Let me put all my scraps over here out of the way. Okay, so then let's see. You do a little salt and pepper. So I'm gonna crack some salt in here. I'm gonna twist this, so. And pepper. All right, we're gonna mix that all together and see what it tastes like and see what else we need. Now, let me taste it. Very good. I'm gonna add a little bit more cilantro in because I can chop this down a little bit more to cover, and I'm gonna put a tiny bit more olive oil and a few more of these jalapenos. And definitely some more salt. Okay. And we can always put more lemon in there too. Let me see what we got now. We have about 14 minutes left on our veggies. Like this seriously smells so good. Also, if you're like not into germs, then maybe you shouldn't dip your spoon back in there, but we don't care over here. Okay, that's pretty good. So that's our sauce. I might add a little bit of lemon juice toward the end just to brighten it back up. So we have a nice thick chimichurri sauce that we're gonna spread over. And if I'm being honest, I think I might do one more clove of garlic in mine. Like I said, we are garlic people, so I think I'm going to. 1 second. Get one more clove here. And like I said, a good smash. Take the skin off. Brooklyn's here. Hi, Brooklyn. All right. And here's my garlic press one more time. I'll show you that little technique. And if you don't have a garlic press, like I said, just do it by hand. All right. And a little squeeze and a slice. Very good. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna just put that in there. We never can have too much garlic at our house. I'm gonna give my juicer a little rinse because I'm gonna use that here again in a second. All right. Okay. Garlic is in. Got our sauce going. Oh yeah, a million times better. Spicy. Garlic is spicy, just a heads up. If you're not used to eating raw garlic, it's really spicy. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do to get ready, I'm gonna rinse this knife, is we're gonna do some fresh tomatoes. And the tomatoes go in fresh. This tastes great heated up. But I love that the tomatoes go in fresh because, I don't know, my boyfriend doesn't like cooked tomatoes. I do. I love blistered tomatoes, but he's not really into it. And you can eye this and do however many you want. Since the Rona is happening, we're gonna make sure we wash all of these. We're calling it the Rone at our house. I don't know what you guys are saying. Thumbs up. Are you guys all following along so far? Give me some thumbs up, some hearts, so I know that you're following along. There we go. Hi, there you guys are. Good. Like I said, however many you want. That one feels a little bit gnarly, so we're not going to use that. And I don't know, something like that. That looks good. So I'm going to give those a good wash with cold water. We don't want to heat them up before we start. I'm going to let those drain just a tiny bit. All right, while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and give this cilantro just one more good chop because I want it to go far on my veggies. And I also have more cilantro in the fridge. Like I said, I'm sure that's not going to be surprising to you because I just profess my love for cilantro. But I like it to be small so I get a good bite of it and everything. All right, we're going to slide that over. And these little remnants of jalapeno, we're going to use those too here in a bit. Get ready to put them on. All right, here's our steaks. If you are just tuning in or you weren't here for this whole thing, my boyfriend was upset that I picked to do these steaks today because I'm sure at the grocery store you saw that steak went up like ridiculous in price. So this is a feast and we will not probably eat beef for a little while. But we got these KC strips. Like I said, we usually do ribeyes, but this is what we're gonna do today. And he's got the grill going. And Thomas, how long do you usually cook ours? What's the temperature?
Between 400 and 500.
For the grill? The grill is between 400 and 500. And like I said, I'll kind of show you those things here in a second. And what's the internal temperature that you cook those for?
Medium rare, 125.
Medium rare is 125. So if you guys are techie like us and you want to know that, a good solid medium rare steak is 125 degrees internally. So now we have our tomatoes, and all you're going to do with those is almost throw them everywhere, all over your floor. I'm going to get a bowl. I use a lot of bowls when I cook. Can you guys see me okay? Would this be better? Is that better or worse? Thumbs up if that's better. If it's worse, I'll turn them back off. I probably should pay attention to what I'm doing. Not cut my hand off. That one's gnarly. Okay. Some tomatoes. Perfect. Okay, good. Somebody said it's better, so I'm going to go with that somebody. You're just going to slice these in half, just like this, because they're going to be mixed in with that jumble. All right, keep this going. We're almost to the end of these. Okay, a few more. I love tomatoes. In the summer, we make this a lot because we have a garden and we grow pretty much everything that we possibly can in that garden. And so I use all of the stuff. We grow sun gold tomatoes. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but they're orange and they taste like pure sugar. They're so good. I eat them off the vine as I'm picking them. Okay, so we have some fresh tomatoes here. Now that I'm doing this, I just don't think that looks like enough. So I'm gonna rinse a few more. Get rid of, you know what? Yellow. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's do all of them. How about that? I'm gonna do a really quick rinse here. All right. Perfect. Take a few of these out. There's just a lot of prep that goes into it. It's a really, really easy meal. And this jumble thing tastes so good reheated. That one's weird. We're not doing that. I don't like squishy tomatoes. They don't have some firmness to it. They are not going in my food. I like have anxiety. Like I don't eat things that have holes in it either. It freaks me out. I'm like, I think there was a worm in there like one time and my boyfriend makes fun of me. But you know what, if there is, you know, who knows? I have a very vivid imagination. See, like this is, no, that's not unacceptable. Okay, we're almost done, for real this time. Okay. And we have 5 minutes left on our veggies. Okay, tomatoes. Throw this away. All right, let's go talk about his fancy gadgets really quick, should we? So, first and foremost, this is Cosmo. And, okay, dear. So we have this little, we use a Primo grill because like I said, we're charcoal people. But if you have a gas grill, that's totally fine too. This is that thermometer I was talking about. And ladies, this is a great gift for your husband or your boyfriend. Like I said, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Father's Day. And this mode right here, good Lord, the smoke is going to kill me. This mode right here, you can set it. So right here, this temperature, the 145, that's where it is. So then there's this little thing right here, and it has these little probes, and this probe goes directly into the meat. And then this little guy controls this, which is connected to this, and that's how it works. And it basically, you just carry this little guy around with you and it beeps whenever it's ready. So you set it to the 126, which is what we're going to cook our steaks to today, and it'll beep. Then this is the other thing that he uses. This is called a loaf lighter, and I'm not going to get it close to me. It looks like a gigantic curling iron, but heat comes out of the end here. And is it 1200 degrees, dear? Something like 1200 degrees, and you just basically push it right up against your coal, and you push this button, and it does that. And it lights it on fire. So, you know, the old days of like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die on the smoke out here. The old days of like lighting the charcoal and letting it sit and all that stuff, which is totally fine, but we just are really impatient. So that's why we got that little thing, and that's the thing that we use every time. So those are really, really cool. If you ever want to know the information on those, let me know. We got them off of Amazon, so like they're easy to, you know, get a hold of. All right, really quickly, because we're waiting on those veggies and stuff, does anybody have any questions? I hope somebody has questions, because if not, we're going to sit here and stare at each other for a while. Also, the cool thing about this is it tells you what wine to pair it with. Ladies, this would go with a bold red. So, you know, a nice Cab or Merlot would be good with it. Whatever you're doing, you know, we are in quarantine, so I know you have your wine out there. Does anybody have any questions at all on anything? No, yes, maybe? Have I missed questions at all? I don't think so. It shows me that a ton of people are watching or were watching. Perfect. That's my little timer that we're going to check the veggies here in a second. Does anybody have any questions at all? Feel free to ask me. I'm just waving at everybody. I don't actually know what I'm doing. We're all learning, right? All of us are learning at the same time. Okay, 1 second. I think I waved to everybody. Yes. Okay, so nobody has any questions. I don't know if that's good or bad. We're gonna wait just a little bit longer. Okay. Veggies are almost done. Let's go peek at those. Okay, so the timer is going off, so I'm gonna click timer because I don't want to turn that off. Let me get a fork. That also says March 19th. That was the last time I changed the calendar before things got really weird, so that's the reason that it's still like that. I just wanted to remember what day that life was normal. Okay, let me pull this out so I don't burn myself. Our oven has these like little things that pull out, and it's like the best thing in the whole world. Hi, Pat. Okay, so we're doing good. You want to get to where these are fork, like stabbable, but you don't want them to be too soft. And the reason you don't want them to be too soft is because then they will turn into mashed sweet potatoes, and that's not what we're going for here. So we're going to take these out so they can cool and put them right here. All this stuff fell over. What do you know? And let's go over here and peek at this thing. So right now, the temperature for the steaks is 108, 115, and 109. And so once it gets to that 126, they're going to be ready. And the most important thing about steaks is that you want to let them rest when they come in. Pretty much any meat, actually. It'll be juicy. I'm going to go ahead and turn that oven off. We're going to let that cool just a tiny bit because then we're going to put this into a bowl and mix it up. We get a bowl here. Okay. Let that cool just a bit. All right, and we can go ahead and juice the rest of that lemon. Okay, let me see what we got here. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I just want to make sure my phone doesn't die. That would be like the worst, right? Okay, so we're going to take that juicer again. We're going to juice this lemon because we're going to pour lemon juice over the top of those sweet potatoes and stuff that we just made. Okay, and guys, I always do a bowl. Here, let me show you. I put all of my scraps in a bowl as I go. It avoids a million trips to the, you know, trash can and all that stuff, and it just kind of keeps your space a little bit cleaner. And it's usually the bowl that I tossed all of that stuff in the beginning. I'm gonna rinse out this strainer because we're gonna wait until those steaks are done before we put all of that stuff in the bowl. Because like I said, if you put it in there right now, those sweet potatoes are probably gonna mash up, and you want them to maintain some firmness. So we're gonna let them just sit over there for a second, kind of cool. Not cool, because we don't want to eat cold food, but hi everybody that's just coming on. Let me wave at all my new friends. Okay. Can you still see everything okay? All right. I'm just trying to pick up, I have about 1 million poblano pepper seeds everywhere, so I'm just kind of picking that up. I like to clean as I go, and usually when I'm not hosting a cooking show like tonight, I wash dishes as I go too, because after I eat, I'm always tired and I just don't want to do it. So I try to do it as I go. All right, we're doing good. Oh, the steaks are done. Did they beep? They beeped. They beeped outside, and they look like this. Yes, let's give Thomas some hearts. Look at those beautiful steaks. They're so nice. And we're gonna let them rest. Thomas, about how long do you usually let them rest?
Equal amount of time to cook it.
Equal amount of time to cook it. And you do that with generally every meat that you cook. We started making this Thanksgiving turkey that Gordon Ramsay makes. He calls it a Christmas turkey because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And he was the one that was like, you know, you need to let your turkey sit for the amount of hours that you cooked it. And we were like, what? We've never been doing that. And we always let steaks and stuff rest. So the steaks cooked for about 5 minutes. So we're going to let them rest for about 5 minutes. And while we do that, we can go ahead and get that jumble ready. So I'm going to sit this here. Thomas, you got so many hearts for your steaks. He's giving a thumbs up. He's like, I do not want to be on that camera. All right, so let me get our veggies. I'm going to get a pot holder so I don't burn myself. And where did my gray one go? Found it. Found it. All right, so we're going to take this. Good Lord, that would have been a nightmare. I almost dropped all that. Okay, let me put this juice around. Okay, put this here so you can see. So we're gonna take our veggies and we're gonna put it here. We'll lift this foil. Thomas is helping me. Are you burning yourself? It's not that hot, apparently. That's good. We're gonna do this and kind of tip this foil. And then I'm going to scrape them as we go. Take this out of the way. That looks cool, doesn't it? So we're going to take a spoon and just kind of scrape out that foil so we get all of the veggies in there. Probably could have used a little bit more of an olive oil because they're not coming out very well. Surprise. Whenever you need them to. You know, nothing, that's the way it goes. So scraping it all out to get it all into the bowl. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to probably have to chop a little more cilantro, which is totally fine because those steaks need to rest. We're almost done here. Almost done. All right. You're not going to get it all, and that's totally okay. Ooh, I want that in there. Okay. Now that foil will just go in the trash. And got all of our roasted veggies, and that's when we'll put our tomatoes in. And then I'm gonna put, oh my gosh, I just flung cilantro everywhere. I'm gonna put those jalapenos in, because we don't mind a little spice. It's completely up to you guys. There's not very many anyways. And then I'm gonna do my cilantro last. That lemon juice that we reserved over here, we're gonna pour that into the little strainer. Just get all of that. Now the pulp is the thing that settles in there. And if you like that, that's totally fine, but a lot of lemons have, oh, Thomas is saying pour them in, because we don't have any seeds in there. Most lemons have seeds, but did you guys know that they have lemons now that don't have seeds? It's like crazy. So we're gonna give that a good toss. And look how pretty and colorful that is. And then we're gonna take that cilantro. I spilled half of it, so I am gonna get probably a little bit more because I have more. Will you get me that cilantro? And we're gonna just toss that around. The lemon and the cilantro on this is so good. I just need a little bit. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit more. And then we're gonna let Thomas cut those steaks and they're gonna look so good. Perfect, this is perfect. Chop a little bit more of this. Almost ready. Like I said, I like to do a really fine dice of it because it coats them a little bit better. It goes further. Okay? Put that in. And then give this a good toss. basically like a fold. I'm gonna fold it. It seriously smells so good. If you're doing this with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so we're gonna set this to the side. And Thomas is gonna slice our are they about ready, you think?
Whatever.
Whenever. He's a man of few words. All right, I'm gonna give this knife a good rinse. Okay. Okay, let me get this so we can show you what these look like. Oh, here it is. He's going to do this. We have really sharp knives. He has a crazy sharp knife. He's not using that one today. It is dangerous. I won't even touch that thing because, like I said, I very often cut almost my whole hand off. So here we go. He's gonna grab a steak and then we're gonna look at this beautiful goodness. So, okay, can we talk about it? Look at it. Oh yeah. Let's give some hearts. Do you see that medium rare goodness?
Closer to medium.
Closer to medium. That's okay. Perfect. And then I'll show you how we plate it. Oh, you got so many hearts, Thomas. All right, perfect. I'm gonna, oh, what did I do? I turned the oh gosh, guys, I turned the flash on. I'm like the old grandma that doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, let's go ahead and get our plates ready. And you could serve this with, like, realistically, if we weren't doing this, we'd probably have a salad today. Or you could maybe do, I don't know, you could do anything with it. So, once he's done, we'll have him bring one over and I'll plate it. Or do you want me to bring it to you, Thomas? I'm going to bring it to him. So you're going to slice it and lay it out. Oh, goodness. Perfect. And that's honestly probably enough for me. We try not to eat a bunch. We like to save leftovers. You want to hand me the chimichurri, dear? And then we're going to take this chimichurri that we made. We're going to take a little spoon of it and lay it over the top, like so. Okay, and then a nice, healthy serving of these veggies here. There we go. Perfect. All right. And it looks like this. Ta-da! Doesn't that look so good? And it's so easy. How long have we been going? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me how long? I don't know how long. All right, guys. If you made it along with me, I would love to see pictures on the page. I would love to know how it went, things that you tweaked, so on and so forth. You know, cooking's fun, and like I said, this is so easy, and it looks so fancy. And look how short of a amount of time that it took us. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. You've been pretty quiet this whole time. And maybe you haven't. Maybe I just don't see your comments, but I don't think anybody said anything, which is fine. Does anybody have any questions before we leave, or are you good? Anything at all? No? Yes? Maybe? I'll wait just a few more minutes. And if not, then we are good and we'll go eat and have a good night. Doesn't look like it. Looks like you guys are set. So make sure to send me some pictures if you guys do it. And I got to take a really quick picture of this because Kira told me to and I forgot. Guys, if nobody has any questions, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you make it. I hope you love it as much as I do. I make this all the time. It's like my favorite side ever. And get in the kitchen. There's nothing else to do, so go have some fun. All right, guys. I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.